Will do, my friend. No, this won't take long at all. Sure. Mr. Steve Inskeep, my friend, how you been? It's been a fun year so far.
It has been an interesting year. It feels like a year's worth of news in a month.
So your assessment on our current political climate these days?
Wow, it's obviously really divided, but things are moving, and that creates the possibility of change. I don't know what this year is going to bring. It's an election year. Congress is at stake, along with governor's races and a lot of other things, and I do expect it to be really tense.
Obviously, the joke is that midterm elections are always sort of referendums on the current administration, current people in power. If you look back in history, 20 years ago, Democrats took over both houses of Congress back in 2006 and some change. You see history basically repeating itself?
In this case, it might. I'm not really making a prediction, but yeah, there's no doubt that Republicans are at a disadvantage because there is an incumbent president. People vote against the incumbent. A lot of them do, and this particular president, his approval rating is down. He's been very unpopular lately, but you also see him already getting out to campaign, possibly changing his approach to a couple of issues, so we'll see what happens.
What has he changed so far, do you think?
Well, I mean, when I say changing his approach to issues, I mean that just in the last few days, the administration seemed to change its tone on the operation in Minnesota. It may not make ultimately substantive changes, but they're talking about things a little differently. They are talking about the killing of Alex Preddy differently than they did on the first day, without taking back any of their original statements, I should note. But they've changed their tone. They changed their personnel in Minnesota. The president went along with a bipartisan compromise to keep the government from shutting down temporarily. And I think that's in response to political pressure. It's clear that a lot of people, even on his own side, were unhappy with the way that he was moving, and so he's trying something different for now.
And something interesting, too, it's the old joke about the old Friday news drop, that on the day that the Epstein files are all released, it's the same day that Don Lemon is indicted.
Yes, it is kind of wild. They're now picking up journalists. As many people have pointed out, if Don Lemon violated some law, he should be prosecuted like anybody else. There's not a special exception for journalists, but his case is he was covering a story. So why was it necessary to bring not some local indictment for trespassing, but a federal indictment for a variety of things? That's a real question. And wow, the Epstein files. Wow. And they still haven't released them all. So that was an unbelievable drop.
And also, too, it was in the Epstein files, it was sort of just a massive, broad data dump. Still names of victims, alleged reported victims in there, which I thought was kind of odd because you'd think somebody would go through and redact as long as it took to get the files out.
Well, there are certain things that are redacted. There's a reference in there to someone named Melania, and you don't learn anything else about her because everything else is redacted. So which Melania was that? We don't know. There are some redactions. Other things are just out in the open. And I want to be fair also. Lots of people are mentioned, including the president, Bill Gates, on and on and on and on and on. And they are allegations. They are FBI tips. They're also emails from Jeffrey Epstein and other things. So some of that stuff's going to turn out to be true. Some of that stuff is going to turn out to be bogus. And it's a microcosm of our larger problem in society. We have enormous amounts of information, and we struggle to know which part is true.
Speaking of information, we're talking to Steve Inskeep, speaking at the Luger Symposium today at the University of Indianapolis. We're so indebted with so much information these days. I tell people, how does someone become a smart consumer with just getting bombarded with so much stuff, with algorithms basically to sort of feed your outrage and feed the dopamine, in your head, social media, the whole 9 yards?
So I had some advice for people today. One was, don't just get your news from social media. Go to a news source that seems reputable. Even if you think they've got a little bias, do they send reporters out into the world? Go to the New York Times website, go to their app, Washington Post, some of the old TV networks. I'd like to think NPR, Wall Street Journal. We could go on and on. Go to a news organization that sends reporters out to check things out. And then read what they have to say or consume what they have to say and ask yourself questions. What is their source? Does their source know what they're talking about? And have a little humility that we may not know the whole story yet, and it's a process.
And it's interesting, too, because I always tell people, trust me, but don't trust me alone. Get your news from multiple places and make a more informed decision.
Also, you don't even have to trust me. I should write my story in a way that I cite my sources. How do I know what I'm telling you? I should tell you how I know that, where I learned it, and what they're saying, and what their background is, so that you can judge for yourself.
How do you think legacy media is performing these days?
Well, there's a real struggle to keep up the business model and to adapt to new media, and it's a mixed picture. I think that old-time TV networks are really struggling. CBS has this new management and is trying a different thing, which we could go on and on and on about, have a whole separate interview. But their fundamental problem is not enough people are watching them. And ABC News is doing better, but none of them are what they once were. NPR is in a moment where our audience is going up. Our old-time radio audience is going up. Our new media audience is going up. We have people who are coming to us who want reliable information in a fast-changing world, and we do send reporters out to figure things out. And so we're doing all right for now, but for all legacy media, it's a work in progress, and there's no guarantees.
How is NPR, public radio media doing these days? All the controversy with the public broadcasting, the Doge cuts, administration, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Congress followed the president's order to remove funding from public radio stations. That affected local stations such as WFYI in Indianapolis and other stations across Indiana. They lost many millions of dollars in funding, but that was only ever a portion of their funding, and the rest of it comes from a variety of sources, but primarily the audience. People who use it. People effectively subscribe to public media even though it's for free. They send money for a free service, and they've sent extra money. So I think most stations are all right for now, and in the longer term, we've got to figure out a slightly better business model.
I've got a couple of seconds left here because you guys got to get started. What is your advice for students today here at the Luger Symposium?
Keep learning, keep an open mind, and get out and explore the world. I love Indiana. I love being from Indiana. If you end up as an adult spending your life in Indiana, that's great, but see other places.
I always tell people the two types of people in Indiana: people who lived here all their lives and never left, people who've lived here for a while, left and came back. There's a total different mindset in the two.
Yeah, and it's great either way, but explore the rest of the world when you get a chance.
Mr. Inskeep, my friend, always a pleasure to talk to you. Good to see you every year.
Thank you. It's fun.